What is going on, Wastelanders? It is me, the Lone Vault Wanderer, and whilst today I would usually upload a Fallout New Vegas mods weekly video, I really wanted to do something different. Tonight, I played Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons on the PC. Quite simply, it is an absolutely phenomenal and brilliant game. So much so that I wanted to make this video in order to strongly recommend to all of you to please purchase, download, and play this title. Whether you're a PC, Xbox, or PlayStation gamer, this game is available on all platforms and for an incredibly cheap price. Furthermore, even with a leisurely playthrough, it only takes around 3 hours to complete, so you really do have no excuse to play this game. Consequently, I truly do hope that I can now convince you, at least a large majority of you, to play this game. And before I do, I want to stress that I will not be showing any spoilers in this video for obvious reasons. I want everybody to enjoy the exact same blind experience as I did. The gameplay that you will see on screen comes from various areas in the game, the first of which comes from the very first cutscene, so you won't get any spoilers from that. And this is just to help you get a glimpse of the world and of some of the puzzles that you will need to be completing. But never will I show you any further cutscenes or other pieces of gameplay that depict the story in any way. At face value, Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons is a story-driven puzzle platformer adventure video game developed by Starbreeze Studios. In my opinion, the two strongest aspects of Brothers are its game mechanics and story. Of course, the game has plenty of other things going for it, such as its aesthetics and music. I often found myself being suspended in time and space, simply soaking in and admiring the beautiful environment of the game. The camera angles also do fantastically well to further help capture the beauty of the world. The musical score is phenomenal, and both perfectly fits with what is happening on the screen and acts as the best backdrop to the story that is being told. But as I said, I think the real reasons why I love this video game so much, to the point that I can easily consider it as one of the greatest video games that I've ever played, are its game mechanics and story. Firstly, the game mechanics. In Brothers, you control two separate characters, brothers Nayi and Naya, simultaneously. The game was specifically developed for the use of a controller, so while you can use a mouse and keyboard, I in fact strongly suggest that you do not do this and opt for a controller instead. When making use of a controller, you control each brother individually, but at the same time via each thumbstick. The controller triggers or bumpers also cause the respective brother to interact with the game world in various ways, such as talking to a non-playable character or grabbing onto a ledge or object. In order to progress through the game, you must manipulate both brothers at once in order to complete various puzzles, those of which often require having each brother cooperating with and helping one another in some way and performing differing functions in the process. Some examples of this cooperation range from using the big brother to boost the little brother to a higher ledge in order to throw down a rope, right to hang gliding through mountains and using each brother as weights to essentially turn and guide the glider to its destination. I found these cooperative game mechanics to be incredibly unique and something that I've never experienced before in a video game. Over the years, I've become so used to simply controlling one character with two thumbsticks, so to be required in this instance to control two separate characters at the same time was a little bit of a challenge and a hurdle that I had to consciously jump over. However, the game executes these mechanics brilliantly. The controls work very well, and the puzzles can get genuinely difficult at times, but never overly complicated, so I found myself quickly beating the learning curve. The game is presented in such an intuitive way that most of the time I knew generally what I needed to do and what I needed to interact with in order to progress. Quite simply, these game mechanics were fresh and innovative in every possible sense. I also appreciated how each new puzzle wasn't simply a rehash of previously completed puzzles, a flaw which many video games to this day seem to keep committing. There was always something new and different that had to be overcome in Brothers. I enjoyed a sense of pure satisfaction every time I completed a puzzle, simply because they were so unique and innovative in their design and execution. And bear in mind, this is coming from someone that generally does not play platformer video games. So if there ever was a video game that executed platforming to near perfection, Brothers would certainly be that game. Secondly, the story. Most video games that make my theoretical top video games list are those that have great stories, engaging narratives, and compelling characters. I know a game has a phenomenal story when throughout the development of the narrative, I am frequently tingling and physically feeling the emotion that protrudes out of the game. Brothers, without a doubt, is an example of such a video game. It tells one of the most emotionally charged, compelling, moving, breathtaking, and heart-rending stories that I have ever been a witness to. I would place the story on the exact same pedestal and level as that which was told in BioShock Infinite, a game that I completely adore simply because of its narrative. In a nutshell, Brothers tells the story of two brothers that must journey out and undertake an adventure in order to get medicine to save their father. That is all I am going to say in terms of what the story specifically involves, because I do not want to spoil the story at all. But what I will do is tell you that at certain points in the game, I genuinely had tears in my eyes and was emotionally moved. It is a story about coping with loss, maturing, family, brotherhood, adventure, familial love, and many, many other things. At times, the emotions truly hit home for me, whether because of sheer sympathy or even because I directly related to the events that were taking place as a result of my own personal experiences in my life. And what is truly phenomenal is that the story is told without a single word of English being spoken. Rather, the story is advanced through gameplay, gibberish, and body gestures. The language that the characters speak makes no sense whatsoever, yet the game was still able to tell a magnificent story. This, I believe, is the true value and uniqueness of Brothers. Yes, it is a linear story, but linear does not necessarily mean bad, so long as that linear story is a compelling one, is one that makes me think, is one that makes me feel, and is one that makes me simply sit in my chair afterwards and just appreciate what has occurred. Brothers certainly did all of these things for me, and then some. So Wastelanders, I hope that I have convinced you to purchase this game. Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons is entirely deserved of your time and attention, and I strongly recommend it to each and every one of you. This has been the Lone Vault Wanderer. Please take care of yourself, and as always, keep fighting the good fight.